Glad to have you with us on Asset Television News. I am Eugenia Solomon. First, the headlines. We are indigents of Taraba, not settlers, Tatipa tells Nigerians. EFCC arrests 17 persons in coordinated sting operations. Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board to review 2025 UTME results. The detail. Tiv indigents in Taraba State under the aegis of Taraba Tiv People Association, Tatipa, have condemned in strongest terms they are being referred to as settlers, saying that they are indigenous people of Taraba State. At a press conference in Abuja, one of the group leaders, Jacob Badede, said it would be wrong for anyone to tag the Tiv people of Taraba as settlers. Also, one-time advisor to Governor Joli Nyame, Obe Uchivi, said to this effect, the Jukun people whom they had lived in harmony with for long have now turned out to be their albatross.
Historical records also reveal a long-standing relationship between the Tiv and the Jukun people. Very cordial, very fantastic relationship that we had. During the reign of Aku Avuka Angu Zekanjo, that's 1820 to 1854, friendly relations were maintained with the Tiv. Further, under Aku Agbumanu Agbu, 1845 to 1860, the Juku and the Tiv allied militarily to resist the Fulani jihadist incursions at Wase and Misau, which threatened Ukari. You can get this Abraham in 1940 on page 19. In the early years of Aku Awudumanu, Abite reigned at 1871 to 1903. A notorious marauder named Dankaro, who had been terrorizing Arufu and surrounding communities, was repaired by the joint Jukun 40 force.
Well, he said in Wukari alone, over 230 villages have been deserted due to communal crisis, with more than 280,000 Tiv indigents rendered homeless.
Mass displacement of our people across Taraba and beyond. In Ukari local government, for example, alone, over 230 Tiv villages have been deserted. Additionally, 31 villages in Ibi local government have been deserted or forcefully evicted or displaced. 20 villages in Donga local government, same. Several in Takun local government are facing the same thing. Displaced, there are no people living in those areas.
According to him, it is not only unjust, but a direct violation of rights of the Tiv people of Taraba State. Peace reconciliation committees of different administrations have propounded many solutions to the crisis, but all to no avail.
The marginalization of the Tiv people in Taraba State extends beyond displacement. It's also rooted in the systematic denial of traditional and political recognition. Despite being historically acknowledged by the colonial administration, Tiv traditional rulers have been persistently denied elevation to graded chiefdoms, a recognition routinely granted to other ethnic groups. We are not requesting the creation of new traditional institutions. We are demanding the long overdue upgrade of Tiv traditional institutions that have existed for over a century, over 100 years. By 1923, several Tiv traditional institutions were recognized by the colonial administration in what is now known as Southern Taraba during the Okari division era.
Sequel to this, the Tiv people of Taraba State are demanding the arrest of one Angu Yavini, prompt investigation and prosecution of all individuals involved in attacks on Tiv people regardless of their ethnic background, and also for the government to direct the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, to respond to the crisis of the Tiv people. Well, the Nigerian Senate has called on the federal government to ensure that local government councils have at least one representative at the Federation Account Allocation Committee, FAC, to protest their interests. The Senate further resolved that this resolution be formally communicated to the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy for necessary action. These resolutions followed a motion presented by Senator Issa Jibrin, representing Kogi East, on behalf of the Deputy Senate President, Barrow Jibrin. In his presentation, Senator Jibrin noted that both local government councils and area councils in the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, are constitutionally entitled to receive federal allocations directly, emphasizing that the state does not have any right to hinder such need allocation process. The motion received overwhelming support from lawmakers.
May I say that Nigerians are actually waiting for these kind of motions, in the sense that it will enable those who are going to be part of the sharing formula to be at the table, for them to know what exactly is being shared and what and why this is being allocated to us. Your Excellencies, who have done Nigerians proud, and I'm sure all of us in the Senate are in support of this motion. I therefore lend my support for.
I stand to support in its totality the desire of this motion. And I stand to move that. I stand also to suggest that it will not only remain at the motion level. I have been at the local government council for some time. I was a former councillor and a former local government chairman. And I do know, as rightly said by most of our colleagues, is that if there is direct funding coming from the federation account to the local government, there will be a lot of developmental changes.
The Supreme Court gave a judgment. After the Supreme Court judgment, there were several steps to implement to no avail. I will tell you, Mr. President, that a few weeks ago, I was in Jos, my state, and I asked the question, I asked them, what is happening to local governments? And the local government said, in the last 2 years, they don't know what was given to them. And I said, even from the actions from radio, television, and also confirmed by the chairman, Progressive Governors Forum, he said from the time of subsidy to date, the allocation to the states and local government has been 3 times the amount. Instead of taking this message back to local governments, nobody is drumming that message because they don't know what is given to them. The only avenue that they will know what is given to them and will hold them responsible, it is this action that you have.
Please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Communicate this resolution to the Honorable Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy as the chairman of FAC for its urgent information and necessary action. Those in favor of this prayer, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. 6. The concurrence of the House of Representatives on this. Those in favor, please say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Those in favor. I'm writing to inform Your Excellency the President of the Senate and my distinguished colleagues of my defection from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, and join the All Progressive Congress, APC. My decision is based on the lingering internal crisis of the PDP and my belief that the ideas of the APC are better aligned with my political aspirations, which will enable me to participate fully in the renewed hope for the benefit of my senatorial district and Nigeria at large.
I want to say, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, that this is democracy at work. And this is part of the beauty of democracy. But before anything, let me remind all those who are insinuating on the largely unregulated social media that the president of the country, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is working with his party, the APC, to turn Nigeria to a one-party democracy. We were all in this country when the People's Democratic Party was the ruling party. And we saw all manners of things that happened at the polls in an attempt to get more states, more senatorial seats, more House of Rep seats, and so on and so forth. We are not at the polls. No one is being coerced. If anyone will be coerced, definitely it is not the Senator Adamu Alero that I know and that all of us know. It is not Professor Yahya Abdullahi that will be co-opted by anyone. Neither is this Senator Medoki, who had also made a mark in the private sector before he ever ventured into politics. They are not in politics so that they could feed. And as far as we are concerned, the Professor Yahya Abdullahi that I know would rather stay in opposition and be very loud. And more Nigerians will probably even celebrate him doing that.
Well, in the latest wave of defections, the 3 senators from Kebbi State have dumped the People's Democratic Party (PDP) to the ruling All Progressives Congress (APC). National Chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, alongside the Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris, and some leaders of the party attended Senate's plenary to witness the defections of 3 senators. The Senate, relying on Order 42 of its standing rules, resolved to allow visitors into the chamber to witness the defection, which saw Senators Adamu Alero, Yahya Abdullahi, and Garba Musa join the APC from the PDP. Presiding officer and Deputy President of the Senate, Jibril Barrow, read the letters of the defectors after the Deputy Leader of the Senate, Oyelola Ashiru, raised the point of order to proceed. In their separate letters, the lawmakers explained that the lingering internal crisis racking the PDP, the abysmal performance during the last general election, and the disconnection from the original aspirations are some of the reasons for leaving the party. They admitted that joining the ruling party will enable them to deliver the dividends of democracy to their constituents in line with the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. They added that the APC provides a more vital platform to deliver the dividends of democracy to the citizens.
I want to say, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, that this is democracy at work. And this is part of the beauty of democracy. But before anything, let me remind all those who are insinuating on the largely unregulated social media that the President of the country, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, is working with his party, the APC, to turn Nigeria to a one-party democracy. We were all in this country when the People's Democratic Party was the ruling party. And we saw all manners of things that happened at the polls in an attempt to get more states, more senatorial seats, more House of Rep seats, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
We are not at the polls.
No.
No one is being coerced. If anyone will be coerced, definitely it is not the Senator Adamu Alero that I know and that all of us know. It is not Professor Yahya Abdullahi that will be co-opted by anyone. Neither is this Senator Medoki, who had also made a mark in the private sector before he ever ventured into politics. They are not in politics so that they could feed. And as far as we are concerned, the Professor Yahya Abdullahi that I know would rather stay in opposition and be very loud. And more Nigerians will probably even celebrate him doing that. But they recognize the fact that this is not the time for grandstanding. This is the time for all of us to work together to take Nigeria to the next level.
And I say it again for the umpteenth time. Those who refer to this parliament as a rubber stamp parliament should note that we are at a very critical stage of our national life when all hands must be on deck. And today, it is not about what political party you belong to. We say it every time that once we're in this hallowed chamber,
Well, meanwhile, leader of the Senate, Okpeyemi Bamidele, debunked claims on social media that the ruling party is trying to turn the country into a one-party state. He advised those referring to the Senate as a rubber stamp parliament to desist from doing so, noting that such collaboration is for the betterment of Nigerians. The Senate leader said those joining the ruling party are too experienced to be easily cajoled based on their antecedents. Senator Bamidele urged other members of the opposition that the APC will keep its doors open for more people to join in the move to take the country forward. Operatives of the Ilorin Zonal Directorate of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, have arrested 17 suspected internet fraudsters in coordinated sting operations in Ilorin and Ifelodun local government area of the state. A statement by the head media and publicity of the EFCC, Dele Oyewale, made available to the press said that the suspects were rounded up at Asadam Al-Hikma University area and Ga Odota areas of Ilorin and in Ganmo and Amoyo areas of Ifelodun local government areas of the state. The latest arrest came on the heels of that of last week that involved 47 suspects picked up in Ilorin and Ifelodun local government area on the basis of intelligence that exposed their fraudulent internet activities. The statement said that the suspects will be arraigned in court upon the conclusion of investigations. Asset Television News will return after the break. Well, you're welcome back from that break. If you're just joining us, you're watching the news on Asset Television. Moving over to education matters now, the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board will on Thursday review the results of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination following what it described as unusual public complaints. Well, the notice said recently in Abuja confirmed that the review meeting would bring together vice chancellors, provosts, rectors, school principals, examiners, and technical experts to scrutinize the examination process and address the widespread dissatisfaction experienced by candidates and stakeholders. This development comes in the wake of mounting protests from candidates and parents over the results released last Friday, with many alleging technical glitches and inconsistencies during the exam. According to the official notice, the review panel, which includes members from the All Nigerian Confederation of Principals of Secondary Schools, the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, Computer Professionals Registration Council of Nigeria, the Educational Assessment and Research Network, and top officials from Nigeria's tertiary institutions will evaluate the conduct and outcome of the 2025 UTME, adding that the panel's assignment will be at no cost to the board. Meanwhile, following the death of a 19-year-old girl in Lagos who reportedly took her life after receiving her Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination results on Monday, mental health professionals are calling for more comprehensive approach to supporting students under examination pressure. Identified by neighbors as Timileyin. The late teenager was described as quiet, humble, and full of potential. Timileyin, who was reported to have hailed from Abeokuta, Ogun State, was living with her elder sibling in Odogunyan, Ikorodu, Lagos State, when she took her life after she was said to have scored 190 in the just released 2025 UTME results, which she believed was lower than her previous score from last year. Many community members expressed grief and blamed the examination body for the incident, while mental health experts urged for a collective response to students' well-being. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has launched the Non-Resident Bank Verification Number NRBVN platform, a digital gateway that enables Nigerians in the diaspora to obtain a BVN remotely. This initiative is a significant step in Nigeria's financial inclusion journey, connecting the country to its global citizens. The NRBVN platform allows Nigerians worldwide to access financial services more easily and affordably through secure digital verification and robust Know Your Customer KYC process. The CBN Governor, Olayemi Cardoso, emphasized that the NRBVN is a dynamic platform marking the beginning of a broader journey. He encouraged stakeholders across the financial ecosystem to integrate and collaborate in shaping and refining the system. The launch of NRBVN is expected to boost remittance flow, with the CBN optimistic about reaching its $1 billion monthly remittance target. The CBN reiterated the bank's commitment to reducing the high cost of remittances in sub-Saharan Africa. With that story, we end the news. Do well to follow us on all our social media platforms for more updates and programs. On behalf of the entire news crew, I am Eugenia Solomon. Thank you for watching.